Hi students, welcome to my channel. Myself is Vedamurthy. Today we are continuing with the chapter 2 of chemistry class 11, structure of atom part 5. In this today's video we'll go through about uh, what are the shortcomings of Bohr model attempts. After that, what are the developments that happened to make the formulations of such models, and what are the regions of failure in Bohr's model. These are all the things we are going to be discussing this chapter. Along with, we have to solve some problems also. So now let us continue the chapter. See, this chapter heading will give towards quantum mechanical model of the atom. Okay, so in this study we are going to deal about Duhem behavior of the matter, Heisenberg uncertainty of matter, significance of the uncertainty principle, reasons for the failure of the Bohr model, and some problems we'll going to solve in this video. Dear students, after the shortcomings of Bohr's model attempts, there are many developments that happened to generalize the model for atoms. In that, two important developments which are contributed significantly in the formulation of such atomic models. So one is Duhem behavior of matter and another one is Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Now we'll go one by one in detail. Duhem behavior of matter. First we'll talk about Duhem behavior of matter. De Broglie is a French scientist. In 1924, he proposed that matter is like a radiation. Matter should also exhibit Duhem behavior. That is, Duhem behavior means both particle and wave-like properties. Having Duhem behavior in both particle and wave-like properties. This means that as the photon has momentum as well as the wavelength, electrons should also have momentum. Okay, so the Duhem behavior of the particles and wave-like properties means photon has the momentum as well as wavelength. How the photon has a momentum, same way wavelength also. So electron should also have the momentum. So photon has momentum as well as wavelength, and electron also have momentum as well as wavelength. So de Broglie from this analogy gave the following relation between wavelength and momentum of a material particles. So lambda is equal to h by mv, r is equal to h by p. See here, m is the mass of the particle, v is the velocity, and p is the momentum, and lambda is the wavelength. So de Broglie prediction was confirmed experimentally when it was found that electron beam undergoes diffraction, a phenomenon characteristic of the waves. This fact has been put forth in making an electron microscope which, based on the wave-like behavior of electrons, just as an ordinary microscope utilizes the wave nature of the light. An electron microscope is a powerful tool in modern scientific research because it achieves a magnification of about 15 million times. And also it needs to be noted that according to de Broglie, every object is motion has a wave character. The wavelength associated with ordinary objects are so short, means because of their large masses. So short that their wave properties cannot be detected. The wavelengths associated with electrons and other subatomic particles means having very small masses, however, be detected experimentally. The results obtained from the following problems prove these points qualitatively. So we will going to solve two problems. First problem is, what will be the wavelength of a ball of mass 0.1 kg moving with a velocity of 10 meter per second? Here you can apply the de Broglie equation. Lambda is equal to h by mv. Here we know the constants. H is the Planck's constant, that is 6.626 into 10 upon minus 34 joule second. So divided by mass is, we know that mass is 0.1 kg, and we also know velocity 10 meter per second. So we'll get the answer 6.626 into 10 upon minus 34 meter. The second problem, the mass of an electron is 9.1 into 10 upon minus 31 kg. Its case Ke is 3 into 10 upon minus 25 joule. So now we have to calculate the wavelength. You know that since Ke is equal to half me square, formula we can apply here. V is equal to 2 Ke divided by m whole to the power of 1 by 2. So we know the factors here. So we can substitute these values, mass of the electron and Ke of the electron. So we can apply like this: 2 into 3 into 10 upon minus 25 kg meter square per second square divided by 9.1 into 10 upon minus 3 kg whole to the power of 1 by 2. So you'll get the answer 812 meter per second. So now we have to find out the nanometer. So to find out the nanometer, we have to apply the formula lambda is equal to h by mv. So de Broglie equation you have to apply here. So we know Planck's constants and mass of the electron and velocity of the electron. So velocity of the electron we determined. So we find it out 812 meter per second. So we can substitute all these values to get the wavelength. So 6.626 into 10 upon minus 34 joule second divided by 9.1 into 10 upon minus 31 kg into 812 meter per second is equal to, you get the answer 8967 into 10 upon minus 10 meter. So you can convert to nanometer, we'll get 896.7 nanometer. The third problem, calculate the mass of a proton with wavelength of 3.6 angstrom. So wavelength is 3.6 angstrom, that is nothing but lambda. So we can write it as 3.6 into 10 upon minus 10 meter. So velocity of proton is equal to velocity of the light. So m is equal to h by me. So we can apply the formula m is equal to h by lambda v. So 6.626 into 10 upon minus 34 joules divided by 3.6 into 10 upon minus 10 meter into 3 into 10 upon 8 meter per second. So mass of the proton of this 3.6 angstrom wavelength is 6.135 into 10 upon minus 29 kg. So now the second topic, so Heisenberg uncertainty principle. This principle was demonstrated by Werner Heisenberg. Werner Heisenberg is a German physicist. In 1927, he stated the uncertainty principle, which is the consequence of the dual behavior of matter and radiation. So as per Werner's Heisenberg uncertainty principle, the consequence of the dual behavior of matter and radiation, it states that it is impossible to determine simultaneously the exact position and exact momentum or velocity of an electron. Mathematically, we can express the like this: delta x into delta px is greater than or equal to h by 4 pi, or delta x into delta mex, which is greater than or equal to h by 4 pi, or you can write it as the equation delta x into delta vx greater than or equal to h by 4 pi m. Here delta x is the uncertainty in position and delta px or delta vx is the uncertainty in momentum or velocity of the particle. If the position of the electron is known with high degree of uncertain accuracy, so delta x is small, then the velocity of the electron will be uncertain. Delta Vx is large. On the other hand, if the velocity of the electron is known precisely, so delta Vx is small, then the position of the electron will be uncertain. So delta x will be large. Thus, if we carry out some physical measurements on the electron's position or velocity, the outcomes will always depict a blur picture. See, the uncertainty principle can be understood by the help of some examples. See, someone is asked you to measure the thickness of the sheet or paper with an unmarked meter stick. So what will get? Obviously, whatever the results will comes that are having inaccurate and meaningless values will get. You cannot measure, no. So in order to obtain the accuracy, you should use the instrument which is graduated in smaller units than the thickness of the sheet of the paper. Similarly, to determine the position of the electron, we must use a meter stick calibrated in units of the smaller than the dimensions of the electron. So we know that we should also keep in mind electron is considered as a point charge. So therefore it is having dimensionless. So there is no dimensions. To observe an electron, we can illuminate with light or electromagnetic radiation. Here light is much having the smaller wavelength than the dimension of the electron. So the high momentum photons of such light P is equal to h by lambda would change the energy of the electrons by the collisions. In this process, we have no doubt would be able to calculate the position of the electron, but we would know very little about the velocity of the electron after the collisions. Now the third point, significance. What are the significance of the uncertainty principle? See, one of the most important implication of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle is that uncertainty principle is rules out the existence of the definite paths of electron and other similar particles. The path of an object is determined by its location and velocity at various moments. If we know where a body is at a particular instant, and if we also know its velocity and the force acting on it at that instant, we can tell where the body would be some time later. So therefore, we can conclude that position of an object and its velocity fix its path. Since subatomic objects such as an electron is not possible simultaneously to determine the position and velocity at any given instant to an arbitrary degree of the precision, so it is not possible to talk of the path of the electron. The effect of uncertainty principle is significant only for the motions of the microscopic objects and is negligible for the macroscopic objects. So this can be seen from the following examples. If uncertainty principle is applied to an object of mass, say about a milligram. So which is equal to 10 to the power of minus 6 kg. Then so delta V into delta X is equal to H by 4 pi m. So we can substitute the values. 6.626 into 10 upon minus 34 joules divided by 4 into, so here the pi value is 3.1416. You know that is. So the mass is 10 upon minus 6. 4 into 3.1416 into 10 upon minus 6 kg, which is approximately equal to 10 to the power of minus 28 meter square per second. So the value of delta V, delta X obtained is extremely small and is insignificant. So therefore, one may say that in dealing with the milligrams sized or heavier objects, the associated uncertainties are hardly of any real consequences. In the case of a microscopic object like an electron, delta V and delta X obtained is much smaller, much larger, and such uncertainties are of real consequences. For example, for an electron where mass is 9.11 into 10 upon minus 31 kg, according to Heisenberg uncertainty principle, delta V into delta X is equal to H by 4 pi m. So 6.626 into 10 upon minus 34 joules divided by 4.4 into 3.1416 into 9.11 into 10 upon minus 31 kg. So which is equal to 10 to the power of minus 4 meter square per second. So therefore it means that if one tries to find the exact location of the electron, say to an uncertainty only 10 to the power of minus 8 meter, then the uncertainty delta V is velocity would be, which is so large that the classical picture of the electron moving in Bohr's orbits cannot hold good. So therefore the precise statements of the position and momentum of the electrons have to be replaced by the statements of the probabilities that the electron has at a given position and momentum. This is what happens in the quantum mechanical model of the atom that we can discuss in the next video. Here we are going to solve some two more examples to understand the significance and of Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So one first problem, a microscope using suitable photons is employed to locate an electron in an atom with its distance of 0.1 angstrom. So what is the uncertainty involved in the measurement of its velocity? So we can follow the equation delta x into delta p is equal to h by 4 pi, or you can write it as delta x into m into delta v is equal to h by 4 pi, or delta v we have to find out the velocities. So delta v is equal to h by 4 pi into delta x m. So here we know the constants, and one here they are given also the distance of the electron, that is mass delta x. Okay, so 6.626 into 10 upon minus 34 joules divided by 4 into 3.14 into 0.1 into 10 upon minus 10 meter into 10.11 into 10 upon minus 31 kg will get 0.57 into 10 upon 7 meter per second. Here 1 joule is equal to 1 kg meter square per second square, so that means we'll get the answer 5.79 into 10 upon 6 meter per second. The second problem, a golf ball has a mass of 40 gram and a speed is 45 meter per second. If the speed can be measured within accuracy of 2%, so calculate the uncertainty of the position. So here the uncertainty in the speed is 2%. So that means 45 into 2 divided by 100 will get 0.9 meter per second. So here we can apply the formula delta x is equal to h by delta pi into 4 pi into m delta v. So you can substitute these Planck's constants as well as uncertainty speed 0.9 meter per second. So h is Planck's constant 6.626 into 10 upon minus 34 joules second divided by 4 into 3.14 into 40 gram into 10 upon minus 3 kg per gram into 0.9 meter per second. So we get the answer 1.46 into 10 upon minus 33 meter. So this is nearly approximately 10 upon 18 times smaller than the diameter of the typical atomic nucleus, as mentioned earlier for the large particles. The uncertainty principle sets no meaningful limit to the precision of measurements. So lastly, we are going to discuss about what are the reasons for failure of the Bohr's model. As per Bohr model, a charged particle moving in well-defined circular orbits about the nucleus. The wave character of the electron is not considered in Bohr model. And an orbit is clearly defined path, and this path can completely be defined only if both the position and velocity of the electron are known exactly at the same time. So this is not possible according to Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Bohr model of the hydrogen atom not only ignores dual behavior of matter but also contradicts the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. In the view of these inherent weakness in the Bohr model, so no point of discussing or extending for other atoms. So in fact, insight into the structure of the atom was needed, so which could be consistent with the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So this came up with the advent of the quantum mechanics that we can study in next video. Students, I hope the video, whatever we viewed, understood these two topics. Thanks for watching the video. Students, if not subscribed, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.